And welcome to the Geekz 31 Days of Horror for Halloween. This is Alil.
This is Steve.
With us tonight, another special guest, one who keeps bringing us these amazing movies with this Ouija board. Nez, welcome back to the show, man. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Yeah, it was a movie.
Well, we had to finish the trilogy. So Nez started us was 3 years ago, right? That we did Witchboard, the first Witchboard, and it's one of your. I'm not gonna even say guilty pleasures. One of your favorite movies of like all time. Like you love that movie. I remember us talking about this, and you just spouting out how much you love this movie. And then I didn't know there was a sequel, so we did that last year. And I didn't know that there was a third one that came out. What was this?
Well, we'd be remiss to not mention the dummy shot in the sequel. It's the best.
Well, of course. I mean, we love the dummy shots. And after watching this one, I have to like re-review my great rating for the sequel. Like the sequel's a masterpiece compared to. I'm gonna spoil my thing compared to this one. And this one's is very problematic. There's like some lines at the very end. I'm like, what?
Well, this one, it was. Yeah. I'd never seen it before, and luckily, trusty YouTube had it. And
yeah, but you know what? On YouTube, I was
watching backwards.
It was backwards.
So the whole movie on a Ouija board that's backwards.
There was that one, and I found another one, but it had Spanish subtitles, so it wasn't backwards. It just had the subtitles, and it looked like it was a VHS rip, because every now and then you had the little track marks. But this one, I didn't know there was a third one until we did the second one last year.
We're talking about Witchboard 3, The Possession, which is actually an accurate title.
It delivered what it promised with the title.
Yes, it's an accurate title.
There was a Witchboard, it was the third movie, and there was a possession. So.
And let's see this the synopsis here real quick. A woman must battle for her loved one's soul when an ancient Ouija board opens a pathway to a demonic force. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. You know what?
So far, everything tracks.
Yeah. So Nez, I'm gonna let you start with what your rating on the movie is before we get into spoilers. So what do you rate Witchboard 3? I was gonna say Ouijaboard 3, but you know.
What's below a low sidekick?
0. High 0. I'll let you give it a high 0. We've never done a high 0.
Well, it was a high 0 because this one was, oh my god. I mean, it had me for a couple minutes in the beginning, minus all the sex scenes they kept throwing in. but then I was just like, what's happening here? I just did not. I think when I started to like, all right, this seems okay. Maybe it could at least be okay. When the older guy was kind of explaining to him what was happening with the Ouija board, and then all hell broke loose, and then it just like went, what the hell is happening here? And that's when I was like, I kept like checking the time. How much more do I have to watch of this? Because this one was terrible.
I know what I have to say, because I know we've talked for years and years. We've had you on here, and you love some really terrible movies, but that's okay. Like we love terrible movies too. We've talked about that. We've given
Maniac Cop.
Terrible. Yeah, Maniac Cop is. If you watch it as
terrible,
a cinema,
but gave it a hero.
But it's an amazing movie. Maniac Cop 2, even better.
Maniac Cop 3. We had some issues.
Well, yeah. What was that? Badge of Silence? Or no, that was I can't remember.
Yeah, that was Badge of Silence. Yeah.
But
I tapped that after the second.
I was really worried. I was really worried about this one because I'm like, if Nez comes in here, because I know you're a very positive dude, and I love that about you. But I'm like, if you come in here talking about how great this movie is, I'm like, I don't know, man.
Not even close.
I mean, 0. I love it.
I'll give it to the actors that were in it, especially the main guy, David. Was it Nerman? He played Brian. I mean, he was all right, but it just, I don't know. I wasn't buying it. I mean, there was possession in the first two films
Yeah.
but it was like just minimal towards the end of those movies. And this one, it was like as soon as it took over halfway at the halfway point, and then just went all the way to the end. And I don't remember CGI being in the, at least the second one, but this CGI in this was terrible. And whatever that beast demon thing was at the end, when his face was being stretched, I was like, oh my God. I mean, but again, that's early CGI,
Yeah.
CGI.
Yeah.
Well, low budget CGI too. So okay, so low zero or high zero. Steve, what about you?
Man, I don't remember what I thought. I remember that we were pretty hard on the first two. I don't remember that.
Yeah, I mean, I missed Tony Katane after, right? Because she was in the first one.
Yeah,
right?
she was in the first one.
Yeah, like I miss her. Like after this one, I'm like, oh my God.
I had a fine time watching it. It was, for one, it's super short, right? So like it's not a huge time investment. It's like an hour 29 with credits, and like it was easy to follow. It took place like primarily in one building, so like you don't have to. It's super simple. The story is like really easy to follow. There's some sexy ladies in there. Everything was super 90s. Like, do you see the funeral home with those big fucking cushy chairs for everyone to sit in? Everything was super like designing women 90s. It was
designing women.
When I was watching it, I was like, I think this is the best one.
Oh no, not even close.
Out of all, I liked the creature at the end. I was like, that's cool. It's practical. Some of the CGI effects were shitty, but like it's a low budget shitty movie. Like I'm not expecting greatness.
Great,
and the actors did fine.
Yeah.
I thought I came in here. I was like, sidekick, high sidekick. Like I thought it was fine. I mean, it's a bad movie, but like it's a straight to video third in a trilogy of movies that I had no real expectations going into it. So sidekick for me. I thought it was all right.
No, Steve, you're better than that.
I can't.
I'm telling you, bro, we've been weird this year, man. We've fucking high ratings to shitty movies.
We've been forgiving on a lot of things, but I can't forgive this one. Like this one, this one to me is. We'll get to it in spoilers.
Yeah,
this one to me is a straight zero. Like it's a straight zero. I can see. I look at some of these, and it's like sometimes I could recommend these terrible movies because there's pieces of it that are hilarious. I didn't find anything funny here. I thought like there's the first major death scene in the beginning like was ridiculous. So we'll get to that in spoilers, and that's what got me like out. Like after the the loan shark guy, like
with the bugs and the needles, come on, man,
that was ridiculous, Steve.
Awesome.
All right, 0.
Spoilers.
Maybe it's these new drinks I've been getting from the club. I don't know, but I've been feeling good.
I was gonna say, like, yeah, are they full of like happiness or something? Like you're
100 milligrams of happiness
for a movie that okay. So I'm not gonna jump to that death, but we meet these characters, and I'm and really like he's using a Ouija board for stock tips, and I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here?
This is a world in which the Ouija board is real. All right? It's real.
Well, I guess
he's using it for stock tips after that whole crazy shit happened with the landlord. He knows that this Ouija board is for real. So he's using it for financial gains, and the Ouija board fucking shits on him. It gives him bad advice.
No, it doesn't, because it tells him to hold, and then the next day it makes it all back. True. And then some. Like so
the ghost
screw him. It did screw him because he goes to like what I don't even know who it was.
This is like, how many movies did we watch this year where we have like this very attractive woman who's dating or married to this complete slacker? It's like, yeah, and like this guy like seems like he's kind of wants to have his shit together. He doesn't seem like a bad guy, but he's like addicted to making deals. I told you it was going to be the last time. It's all bullshit nonsense, but it's not offending me. I'm like, whatever. It's fine.
Well, I guess that's my thing. Like when I'm just like, I don't care. then you've lost me. Like, I don't, I don't care.
They're setting up the story. We're 5 minutes in trying to figure out who these people are and what
Well,
they're.
no,
what their
not
deal
even
is.
this point, but like at the point of when he's making the stock tip, and then he needs 50 grand right away, and he has to go to the I don't even know who he went to.
You didn't like the
It was
loan
like-
shark?
It was like a taxidermy loan shark guy.
It was
Yeah.
weird because he worked with he was like a financial planner, but on the side was a loan shark.
Yeah, he's
Because,
like, I can't give you a legit loan, but like, I can give you one of my fuck around and find out loans.
25% interest by tomorrow. So yeah. So who's gonna take that deal? Who takes
Somebody that thinks they're gonna make that money by the next day.
But
I didn't ever claim that this guy is a smart guy.
No, I understand that, but here's the thing. None of this makes sense because in any transaction, even if the stock made the money, he would need to sell it and then get the
Immediately,
Oh, so we're doing logistics. So you're arguing
Not even-
realistic
not even-
logistics. That's what you
It's
want out of this.
still-
You get here. This is Witchboard 3. Get the fuck out of here with your I demand realism. Get out of here, Lil. Get out of here.
I'm not
That's-
just demanding realism. I'm just demanding just common sense.
That's what
Like,
I was thinking too. I was like, okay, let's say you
Thinking
did
that.
hit it. I was like, you're not gonna get that money unless you sell it.
24 hours. Like,
Yeah, the little
back
knowledge
here
I
at
know of the
6
stock
o'clock with
market.
2,500. I'm like,
It was a bad idea for sure. And then he goes back there with what plan? Like,
he was
He
going to
just
give
goes
him the
back.
Ouija board.
I think he was gonna show them what the Ouija board can do.
he's
And
got, like,
then-
what was it? What's that cartoon with the frog? Like, where,
Oh,
like the frog that sings and then like he takes it to show people and it doesn't do anything. That's what would have happened here. They'd have been like, well, what the fuck?
But he didn't even get a chance
on,
to pull it
move.
out because those guys were like, "Nah, man, you ain't
They
got
were
my
pointing a
money.
finger right there.
This is what we got to do." I mean, which
They were
finger
vicious.
is this?
I
They're
mean,
vicious. He's like, I'm gonna cut your whole fucking hand off. I was like, God damn.
He's
well,
like, you need to pick a
he's-
finger. If you don't pick a finger, I'm cutting your whole hand off. Yeah.
This is zero territory for me. Oh, I'm fine with right here to sidekick, right? And then when the ghost attacks and it stabs the one dude in the hand and it starts flying all those bugs around and stabbing all, but one of those needles went right in Homeboy's eye, right above his eyeball, right in the.
But none of that would kill him.
He wasn't dead yet. We didn't see
None
him
of-
die. He was just screaming, and it cut to the next scene. So that wasn't
Yeah,
even really
They
dead.
wheeled him out on a gurney on the news that he died.
Well, he must have gotten stabbed some more.
I don't
By
know.
these little needles?
The little needles are like
I love having this
acupuncture needles.
Exactly.
Didn't that happen in Daredevil? Didn't Colin Farrell kill somebody with a bunch of
Yeah, but it was right in his
clips in
throat. It
Daredevil?
was right in his throat.
The other guy, the muscle, I could see how he died. He got pinned up against a wall with daggers and everything.
Yeah, it made devil horns. I like that. I was like, that was actually like, I was like, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I think the only thing I liked,
Zero.
No,
the only thing I liked
Disagree.
in it was the actual Ouija board and the.
It was a cool design for a Ouija board.
oh, another compliment. Ha, ha, ha.
Everything else. I mean, the woman was beautiful. I mean, all the ones that were in it, but it was. I did like the main guy, but I was just like, he was all right when
I'm surprised he hasn't been in more stuff. I thought he acted well. He's handsome.
he is in a
change
lot
up
of
the
things.
characters. Like,
I had to look and go, this guy had to have done more than just this movie. He's
so
done a lot of stuff. I mean, nothing too big, but
because I looked at the wiki and his name was not Blue. So it's like fuck.
I mean, I love how when he just his normal self, he looks all just just a normal guy. But when he becomes evil, I don't know if that's just the run of the mill evil guys. They got the
Yeah.
slick back hair and the little ponytail.
He looks like Tony Silver, man. Come on,
I mean, Terry Silver.
Terry Silver, Tony. God, Terry
He's
Silver.
known for, per IMDb, a movie called The Lost World. At first, I was like, "Is this Jurassic Park?" Nope, it's a Jurassic Park ripoff from 1998 with only a 3-star rating out of 10.
Oh, that's probably one of those BBC miniseries movies.
Yeah, The Arrival.
Oh,
The
shit, he
Arrival
was in The
2
Arrival
or
with
something.
Charlie Sheen,
I think
or
the
The
second
Arrival
one.
2. He's a
The Arrival
sequel
2. Sorry,
He's a sequel guy.
Yes, he's in The Arrival 2 with.
Hey man, like we need those journeyman actors out there making fucking direct-to-video movies too.
But I don't think he was like. a main character in it either. It's not like he like led the movie. He's a lot of TV movies.
I was hoping for a Mal Thader reference in there somehow. The evil guy from the first one. But
well, none of these sequels have anything to do with the prior movie.
The second one kind of did, because at the very end of that, and if you remember, the boyfriend in the first one, he was the same. He was playing the same character when he was like a garbage man. Because one of those guys kind of asked, "Hey, you ever seen these before?" And he was kind of like just gave it a side eye, but then the movie was over. So
it's in universe. It's like, holy shit, this other thing happened right down the street.
This one was in Canada, because when you hear them with a boot and stuff like that, and sorry, yeah. I was like, okay, because at first I thought it was New York, and then I heard them talking. We're up in Canada, but it had me for a few minutes in the beginning.
I like the
especially how he dies is ridiculous. How he dies? No, the main, not the landlord. The landlord's dead, but again,
that was brutal.
I was like, that's pretty cool.
Not bad.
But like when the guy gets killed, what does he get electrocuted? And then his spirit pops out and goes through the eye of the. I was like, all right. I was like,
well, it's all shitty effects. Like I could see, like it's like you could see what they wanted to do. It's like you ever come on, I know you've gone to draw something and you're like, you can see what you want to draw, and then you draw it and you're like, oh god.
Well, my drawing stinks. So
I don't think they didn't have the money. I mean, they're filming in an apartment building in Canada, probably where one of the directors, where the director lives or something. Like they never leave this building. They go to a gym, which is probably in that same building.
I mean, the main focus of the story was this demon, whatever his name was trying to have a baby. So that's why he couldn't do it himself. So he had to possess this guy that got sucked in with the Ouija board, and then he was supposed to have this baby. And I don't know, I assume the baby was going to take over the world or whatever. But
the Omen.
Yeah, and then it threw in all the sex scene. I mean, those the sex scene right in the beginning, and then that 10-minute one in the middle, and then the almost threesome, and then the almost rape scene.
This demon is horny. Like seriously, like line.
And he talks shit. He goes into the mirror and talks shit to Brian. He's like, "Hey man, I've been banging your wife." Like, oh, that's fucked up.
See, when they started showing Brian, when we see him like in reflections in the mirror, I must have missed when he got pulled over into that realm.
It was when he got shocked or whatever, and went into the
that was his
thing.
soul went into.
Okay, that's when it. All right.
Because then it bounced into like a little mirror right there, so that's why he's done and just like reflective surfaces.
And he was laying there dead until the demon seizured into his body.
I mean, yeah.
The amount of times his wife was like, "He's okay, he's okay, he's okay, he's okay." I'm like, God.
I mean, how long was he laying there before the paramedics came?
4 hours.
He was dead.
It was like daytime when he got shocked, and then when they came there, it was like the middle of the night. It's like pitch black,
and his skin was already pale.
Yeah, he was gray.
Yeah, I was like,
that man was dead. But then he came back, Terry Silver. He learned karate, started banging chicks, just doing his thing.
Yeah, that almost threesome scene again, another ridiculous moment. I was just like, what is happening in this movie?
It's pretty hot.
Well, I think that girl was down. The other girl, his girlfriend. Sure. His girlfriend realized what was happening and was like, no, this ain't going on.
I didn't like her death scene.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, I'm like, what happened?
Yeah, I
was watching just like blood on the floor. I'm like,
yeah, she gets
what the fuck happened?
Sliced up somehow. I have no idea.
He threw her when he went to the house. He threw her or gave her magic, and she crashed into the shower with the glass door. She was laying on the edge of the door, and then the glass came down and
I did not get that.
Maybe
the transfer I watched. Maybe a little. Do you watch the one in reverse?
Yes.
The backwards one, so did I. So like maybe they just fucked that part up and I didn't see it because I didn't see that. When I saw that, I was like, what happened? It was just like it looked like they fast forwarded through something.
It didn't. You didn't see it hit her. You just kind of saw the glass and you saw it fall, and then camera pulls back and we see her and she's laying there and she's dead.
Well, that makes sense.
So I was like,
well, that's kind of a cool death. I mean, he fucking X-Men force pushed her into the. He's like a superhero. Sweet. Come on, man.
I mean, there was more of that possession. Well, I guess why it was called the possession in this one than in the other ones. I mean, the other ones, again, the possessions didn't happen until the last maybe 10 minutes of the movie. This was like at the halfway point all the way to the end.
And I love the possession look, right? Like just slick back hair. He had crazy kind of hair in the beginning and he was all disheveled and it's like slick back hair and I'm all suave.
That's
what you're saying.
The loan shark guy, was there just the two of them? They didn't have a big crew?
No, I mean, he said to take him down to the room and get him the money. So there must be to take him down. There's a room. That means there's another hallway and other rooms. There's got to be other guards. It's not just those two. That's an operation.
But that loan shark guy, like,
that was a side business though. So.
Yeah, he was in an office building. Like it wasn't even like
it was the same building as the apartment building. Did you ever see him go in or out of that building, or did you just see him open the door? You know
just open the door. Yeah.
Like
only you see it on the news snippet when they're taking the gurney.
They filmed this whole movie in one apartment. They just kept changing the set. It's just all
hang up black curtains. Okay, we're gonna make this look like a basement. Hang up black curtains.
Even when he goes to visit the other lady, like he knocks on the door and you see like the back of him and her open the door, and then when you see him, he's like standing in the doorway. You don't even see the hall. Like it's like, where are you? Are you? It's just a weird way.
I thought that scene when he went to go see her before he tried to rape her, I think she was down. She was getting ready to do it, but then he got all creepy and basically pushed his way into the apartment, and then that's when she was like, no, and then that's when he ended up killing her. So, but yeah, I don't know, man. This movie, and then the wife starts talking to the husband on the Ouija board, and then they go meet the landlord's
wife,
and she's nutso.
Well, she's not. I mean, she knows what happened.
Yeah, but she's like hollering and shit. She's yelling, ah.
So did that old man, the old man in the beginning who had it, did this try to happen to him?
I think that's what it did. And he wanted to be younger. The demon.
Okay.
That's why the demon wanted to possess him. And let's talk about that too. The landlord jumps off, lands on this fence, spikes all through him, right?
Right through the face,
and then
through his head.
And then it feels like the next day they have a funeral for him with nobody there but the two of them. And then his wife shows up. How do you not contact the wife when he dies? Like who doesn't do this?
Maybe they were divorced. It was his ex-wife.
I don't think she was living. I don't think she was living with him. She was living somewhere else.
Yeah, they had to go find her. Because he was living in that same building. So I'm saying she divorced him. They're not gonna call it. Just call it. Maybe he didn't put it. The demon that was possessing the old man, like he didn't write in his will. Call him out.
He didn't have emergency contacts.
That old man is stuck in a mirror somewhere. Lil, that was a demon in that body.
Okay, all right, true. It's a hero. I'm giving it a hero.
There you go. I talked to you.
You solved everything. No. All right, let's get to this end scene because this was pretty ridiculous. Like
where the demon comes out with the smoke machine.
Even before that, he picks up his pregnant because she's pregnant. Because we find out that she is pregnant, and he spins her around in the air a bunch of times just to get her bent over the couch. Because he's like, what do you think? I'm going to kill you? No, I want to fuck you. And then proceeds to try to go through the back door. And I was like, okay. That's where we're going with this movie. All right.
He's a horny demon, a little. I don't know what you want me to say. I didn't write it. I just don't hate it.
But you're defending it, Steve.
I'm not defending it. I said it's a bad movie. It's just not the worst. I don't feel like it's a 0.
The little dagger thing, was that supposed to kill him? Because and then when something pieces of glass or whatever broke and cut him in the face, and then she took some of his blood and rubbed it on that little dagger thing. She was supposed to kill him with it, but didn't work because she was moving so slow, because she put it on that little dagger thing in the crossbow, which she should have shot him instead of just sitting there listening to him talk, and then he used the force and threw it across the room.
There's a lot of monologuing for shit like going down. You're like, there's like flashing lights, and you're like, we're still talking. All right.
And then they separate. You know, she does something, I can't even remember now, to separate them. And again, it's this demon moving very slowly because it's in this big bulky rubber costume.
It was a spirit Halloween suit for sure. What did she do, Nez? You remember?
His wife, the old man's wife, told him. Remember he gave him that ring before he dove off the thing.
That's right. Yeah,
that's what it was.
She was saying, you need to get that ring, and he had it on his
cut
finger.
the finger off. She cut the finger off.
So when she cut that finger off, that's when the demon separated from Brian, and we got that crazy scene of him rubber facing it and falling apart. But
it was shitty, but it's like
my wife came walking in and she was like, "What are you watching?" I went, "Witchboard 3." She went, "There's a third one."
You're like, I didn't know either.
My wife said the same thing. She's like, "Wait, what?" She's like, "They actually made another?" And I'm like,
and it's unavailable everywhere. You can't even find that shit to watch it not legally.
Yeah, by other means. Like we had it was bootlegged on YouTube. I was shocked. I was searching for it for days. I'm getting ready to text you guys and be like, where is this thing?
Because the first one I saw was the backwards one you guys watched, and I was like, well, if I'll keep searching, if that's what I have to watch, and that's when I typed in just Witchboard Possession. I minus the 3, and then that one.
Oh, I did not do that. So.
Interesting.
That makes sense.
So I was like, all right. And I was like, okay, it's a VHS rip. The subtitles at the bottom didn't bother me. I mean, they were still speaking English. So I was like, okay. I mean, I got through it. And
so
I won't own this one, even if they do put it out in a special.
Not if they put out a trilogy box set, all 3.
Steel box.
I can live without it. I mean,
I don't know, Nez. I'm seeing all them Blu-rays behind you.
But
4K transfer.
No, I'm fine with the two that I had. The first 2 that I have.
And then we gotta get. If I don't know if we can. I don't know when does the Witchboard remake come out? Do we have to wait to review that next year?
I think so, because it's done, and people have seen it. I guess at the Fantastic Fest and those type of things, people have seen it, and I'm like, well, what are you waiting for? I mean, obviously this isn't going to be in the theater.
I don't think it has a distributor. That's why I think they're just trying to find somebody who's going to buy it
to put it out.
Go to Shudder or something. They'll put it out.
Tubi,
Screenbox, Tubi. I mean, somebody put it out, because I just want to see it. Well,
have you seen the trailer?
Yeah, I watched it earlier today. I'm like, all right, a little different. I mean, there is some actors in it that I've seen in other things, so I'm like, okay. But yeah, I mean, the end of this one, when Brian separated from the demon, and then he is the one that killed the actual demon in this, because that demon was about to get his rape on with his girlfriend, because there's a scene where we show that demon spreading that lady's legs before he hits him with the crossbow.
It's nuts. That's what this should have been called. Witchboard 3, the horny demon. Yeah. I mean, jeez.
Because when he hits him with the crossbow or whatever that thing is, the demon's just standing there like this, and then all the crazy effects going like this, and then he blows up, and then happily ever after.
I just love that these people have been involved around so many deaths in such a short period of time, and then just move away. That's the end. Just get in a moving truck.
Well, it's not the very end, because the little dial from the Ouija board comes to wave hello at you before the credits start.
Yeah. to tell us that there's supposed to be a 4, but that no way it was going to happen.
Yeah, the planchette. That looks like they threw it, the whole board and the planchette in the little furnace at the apartment building, and then it comes busting out, and little planchette has a hole in it. So we're seeing that, and then that's your movie. But I'll never watch this again.
We got through the trilogy, Nez. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad I did.
Does Orca have a trilogy? Because I know we did that too.
No, I wish, man. There could be an Orca 2 or something, but I think that's when Free Willy and all that came out. So what?
We should watch Free Willy from the lens of a horror film.
I bet you could recut like the trailer to Free Willy with like different dialogue and music and make it into a horror trailer.
There is the original film, Witchboard, was directed by Kevin Tannini. I think that's his name. He did another one, which I thought was a part of the Witchboard trilogy or series. It's a movie called Witch Trap. It came out in 1989. And when I saw, it was during the VHS days, going into the video store and looking in the horror section, the Mal Fader character, the actor that played him in Witchboard, he's on the box. And I was like, is this part of Witchboard? And then I read it and it didn't say anything about it. So I was like, okay. I mean, I never rented it. I eventually seen it. And I bought the Blu-ray last year because I just said, I gotta have this in my collection.
So is Witch Trap better than Witchboard 3 then?
Yeah, I think so. But I know.
So if the remake doesn't come out next year, then we're doing that one.
We can do Witch Trap next year. I mean, I'm all for it.
Maybe
But I think
double feature.
I think Witchboard should be out by at least next year when we come back for more.
We're just never going to get away from these Witchboard movies. It'll just be with the thing that we do.
I see there's a Witchcraft series. I've never seen any of those movies. And I think there's at least 3 of them. But
there's tons of Ouija board movies, we just go down that rabbit hole.
That's the other thing too, is like I hear Witchboard and it's like you automatically start thinking of like, and the covers lead you to believe like witches, like, and then it's just Ouija board movies about demons.
Like that Ouija or whatever, that one.
Yeah.
First one not very good, but the prequel.
Oh yeah,
pretty good.
That second one was real good. Yeah, first one I was like, all right, next. But yeah, Witchboard 3 or Witchboard the Possession. A little and I hated it. So but
I didn't like it, but
finally somebody on my
side. Hate it.
Finally, somebody on my side. Well, Nez, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for enlightening us with this trilogy. Now that we have finished, because I don't think I would have ever watched these movies until you told us to watch them. So we appreciate it. So why don't you let everybody know where they can find you?
You can find MacNez podcasts anywhere or search E-Society on Facebook. MacNez Podcast, E-Society on Facebook, Instagram as well, TikTok, X, Twitter, whatever they call it. Right now, we're in the middle of our 31 Days of Horror. It was kind of like franchise here. Did the quarantine movies, the Tremors movies, not all the Tremors movies. We only tackled the first 2. I didn't feel like doing all 7 of them.
I was going to say that's a hefty haul.
The Wild West one is actually decent.
Yeah, I like that one. What else did we tackle? We did 2 of the Blair Witch movies, not the first one. I think we did the first one a year or 2 ago, but we did Book of Shadows and the last one, Blair Witch. Prom Night, we tackled those movies. Not all of them. We did the first 2 and the remake. And I know we did a commentary for The Fog, the original Fog, John Carpenter's The Fog.
Not the Tom Welling movie. Hello, sorry.
Tom Welling movie's amazing.
I have not seen it. Last time I saw it was when it was in the theater, and I never seen it again.
I've never seen it, but it's Tom Welling, so I have to.
That was why I seen it, because it was Tom Welling. But yeah, I can't remember what else we did. We still got more for the rest of this month. But yeah, that's what we
You got to
got.
do the I Know What You Did Last Summer franchise because I need to hear somebody else talk about the third one.
We did those. If it wasn't last year, it was the year before, and that third one.
That third one. Oh man,
that one was terrible. I hear there's a fourth one coming.
Well, it's a requel.
Legacy sequel.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Jennifer Love Hewitt and them coming back. So,
was it her and Freddie Prinze?
Yeah, I think so.
Brandy.
Yeah. I mean, she's still alive too, so yeah, why not?
I didn't even care for the second one.
I mean, after watching all these, yeah, like the second one's like a masterpiece. But yeah,
I mean, I can appreciate '90s horror and what we had. I mean, with pretty much all that, the screams, I Know What You Did Last Summers, the
urban legend.
Yeah, that one. Ooh, I didn't like the second one. First one was good.
Was the other one like that? Was it the skulls?
But that wasn't really horror. That was like a weird, like
it was like a sci-fi thriller. Yeah, but I mean,
Secret Society. Yeah, but Craig T. Nelson was in it. It was like Coach and the kid from Mighty Ducks. It was nothing scary about that movie.
Well, it's true. I'm sure there was another one though. I thought that they did. Where's the one with James Marsden?
Disturbing Behavior.
That's the one I was thinking of, not the skull.
With Nick Stahl. That's a good one.
Did they only just make one? Or did they come out with a second one, or was it just that one and done?
I don't know.
I think it was a one and done, but maybe who knows? Because like all those '90s horror films got just like I Know What You Did Last Summer 3. Like I didn't even know that existed until Steve's like, "Oh, we got to do the third one," and I'm like, "No," I'm like, "I don't want to do it. I don't want to see it."
Did you guys tackle the series that they had on Amazon?
No, not that. No, we didn't do the series. No.
I did 3 episodes and I tapped out. I was like, "This." It was like the same story, but they'd stretch it out into a whole series. I'm like, come on.
I don't need any of that.
Just like the first 2 episodes are like they haven't even hit the guy on the road yet. You're like, what are we doing?
They're just driving for 80 minutes because each episode's 40 minutes.
No, remember they had like the whole party.
No,
they had the whole party. Remember you got introduced to fucking the Becky's boyfriend from Roseanne. You got fucking or Darlene's boyfriend. You got they had that whole beach scene where they were like talking about dumb shit on the beach.
All right, so that's the first episode. The second episode is just them just
driving.
Yeah, just drinking.
Did you ever guys tackle the Scream series? It was on MTV.
No.
The first 2 seasons were actually pretty good. I invested time into that, but the third season they did when they just recast it, or they didn't even bring back the cast from the first 2 seasons, and it just went downhill, and then they canceled it. But it was actually all right. It was better than I thought. I thought it was going to be.
That mask threw me off. I was like,
in the first season, I was like, I'm not down for this.
I have it somewhere over here.
From the series?
From the series, yeah. I enjoyed it. I liked it that much. I actually met the guy that did the voice.
Okay. Huh.
I actually heard the story was decent. They had some good kills. So.
When I first finally met you, Steve, at the Stockton Con,
the
guy that did the voice for the on the phone for the killer, he was there.
Oh no shit!
I brought my mask and he signed it.
Oh, so man, that's cool.
He was happy because everybody kept bringing him the regular Scream Ghostface mask, and he was like, "I wasn't in this movie, but all right, I'll sign it." I was the only one that showed up with the one from the TV show, and he was happy. He signed it outside, then he wrote something privately on the inside. If you watch the show, it was a phrase that he said in the show. He wrote it on the inside of my mask. So I thought that was really cool. I have it somewhere.
I might have to dive into that.
It was actually all right. There was the 2 seasons, and I think there was a little a mini movie in between. It was all when it was on MTV, but I think they put them out on DVD. I don't know. I'm have to look because if they do, I'm going to get them.
I wanted to tell you that your new logo for the Macness podcast, very nice.
Yeah, shout out
congratulations.
To my friend Hope, the young Navajo artist. She works with us, and I found out she was an artist, and I kind of, hey, here's a suggestion I kind of wanted to do. So she was like, all right. Sat down, she played with it, and then she was here. How's this? And I was just like, oh my God, this is awesome. So shirts are coming, everyone. And speaking of shirts, I got that limited edition one you did, the one that got yanked.
Oh, you got the Friday the 13th.
Yeah, I got one of those before they yanked it.
I still have the file. We just have to. We can put it back on their store, on the horror return store. We just have to not tag Friday the 13th in it. It'll be fine.
Because I went and looked on the other ones, and I was like, well, you can clearly see why did that one get yanked. But I'm glad I got one.
They got some cool shirts over there at the horror returns. I don't really talk about my little art stuff that I do on the show. So thank you. It's cool.
Yeah, dude.
I didn't even know about this Friday the 13th shirt. Thanks a lot for telling me, Steve.
It's a limited edition. Those who got them, got them.
So, all right.
They're rare. They're worth money.
Uh-huh.
All right. Well, thank you again for listening. Thank you again for subscribing. Nez, thank you again for joining us. That is it for tonight. This is Lil.
This is Steve.
And this is Nez.
And until tomorrow night, everybody, keep it creepy.